All right, here is a big project and a big hope. This mower I got with the Craftsman LT 2000, later model, I can find the year. So we've got what I was told, a couple electrical issues, whatnot, but everything is not terrible. This is to replace mine for my personal mower. It finally ate it and pretty much blew up. But I don't know if this got rolled or hit something. It's also pretty dented and pushed in here. The tire's in decent shape. That one wasn't off the bead when I got it, but pushing it over here, it popped off. That one was kind of low, but it's okay. Got some rust. He said it was from Louisiana. There's a light to the headlights. Seat is okay. But pretty excited for this hydrostatic. That guy will be nice. This shoe is in great shape. There was one, where was it at? I thought, yeah, it is. So there's a little hole right here from the rust. And this guy's okay. This treads and everything's okay. Gonna have to get a new battery. This is about 5 years old. They had some electrical issues here. For whatever reason, change these out. That is holding the charge though, but it's pretty sure it's not gonna have enough push to do anything. They do have, I don't know why. I actually already put this on here, but this was cut. He told me it's got some weird issues, but whatever, you can see. We'll get into all that, but I'm pretty excited about this. It's got a 21 horsepower. We'll see what happens. All right, so with the battery being out, here is the solenoid. Pretty loose. Once we get some power in here, we'll see if that's clicking and working, but this green cord is pretty ate up. We'll have to see what this does, but yeah, there you go. Not good. We'll see. All right, so these are just supposed to come off, turning them left. I thought there was maybe like if they were straight, or if you turn them this way, they'd line up and then it pops off. But no, so they're just like fused, melted into this. So I've sprayed some, whatever it's called, PU Blaster in there. Get some funk out, we'll let it sit, and then I might have to get a screwdriver or something and push these up because we gotta get in there. All right, here's where we are right now. Testing this starter to make sure it works. Find out the new jumper pack I have is like has a safety thing on it, so you can't like do this. So anyway, we're doing it the old school way, and we've got the power here right to it. I already tried it, hooked it to the back over there to the battery. The solenoid does not click. I have another solenoid, don't know if it's that one, but they're pretty, like, it's a standard. It's like a 3 or 4 pole or whatever. So what we're gonna hit it over here is where it connects. Oh, hey. Cool. So it spins. Chew up my stuff here. It is like chewing onto that. It's just that's a good way to burn this thing up. But anyway, it spins, so I don't think it's the it's not the whatever, not the starter. And this already spun freely and felt like it had good compression. Just the solenoid and that funky wiring over there. We'll have to do something with all this stuff, I guess. That's about that. Anyway, all right. Okay, I've got this old battery charged up. Looked like it held the charge. We're gonna get our little touchers on here. I've got these alligator clips clipped up to the I guess the battery cables itself to the mower. If I can do this one-handed, well, I may not be able to. Anyway, it was holding 12. Boop. Hey, all right, 12.16. So it's doing something. I don't have a tester to see if it's going to do anything under load, but all hooked up here. It did. I wanted to check the solenoid. I'm gonna turn the key over. We can't really see that good, but it's definitely clicking. So I'm about to turn the key. So the solenoid, I do believe, works. I'll mess with this. Make sure these teeth aren't jammed up. Yeah, they are. So again, I think the battery still may not be very good. I don't have a tester, but there, now the teeth and the starter's free. We'll turn it again. Yeah. So anyway, it's doing something. It's a good sign. I still cannot get this off. This is what I'm working on. These things are so frozen in there, and they're not just like this top piece. They go down like an inch, grabbing onto this little metal threaded piece, and it's all just, I think, fused together and funky. Alright, I just took out this grounding bolt from the part of the frame here that they've had. I don't know if this is the original spot. It very well might have been, but it's over paint, so they're just kind of connected through the threads inside this. So I'm gonna just kind of grind off this paint and scrub this and have a better connection. I've had too many grounding issues where it's just dumb, and I'm just gonna take this all off, and then that's all nasty, but it leads to the ignition, but it's working as of now. So I'm just gonna clean this off and reground it better. All right, much more better. Now we'll put that back on there and mess with the airbox some more. All right, after further research, for this particular mower here, and when the airbox, these setups, anyway, these don't come off. This is supposed to stay stationary. This twists, and then I was trying to see if I could put pressure underneath it to lift it up. You probably won't be able to see it under there, but it's like a couple inches. Yeah, you can't tell. Anyway, it goes down to like here, and it's got a little flange on the end that keeps it to this thing. So these never leave this airbox cover. So it's pretty much whatever this is mounted to on the bottom has stripped out, and it's like kind of fused together. So I was trying to put pressure up to push it up against whatever it's supposed to hold and then twist it, but it's still not, like, nothing's happening. I really don't want to cut them off because it'll look ugly, but you could reorder this stuff. So I really want to get this off, check out the filter, and be able to spray some starter in it and hear it kind of combust and give a chance before we mess with the gas tank and do everything else. Speaking of the gas tank, this cap is no good. Yeah, so that's obviously not going to be great. I think the cap from the old one might work. Also, this tank is really small, it seems. It kind of flares and gets a little bigger in the back, but this seems pretty small for quite a big engine. But the cap is no bueno. Anyway, this is a headache. I figured we might as well take out the spark plug. Boot looks okay. A lot of, like, dirt is in it. It's pretty funky. But let's take this out. Let's see how it looks. Come on. Scrub it off anyway. I could spray some starter in there. Also took off these, can't really see it, with the screws for the housing on top, and I can't get it off because it's attached to the bottom of the airbox, and we can't get the airbox top off yet. Oh my gosh, look at that. That thing is in great shape. That's wonderful. Whatever this is. There's your spark plug there. But yeah, just the inside of the boot's kind of funky, but this is awesome. Yeah, wow. Right on. Well, I'm just gonna put that back in there and blow that out. Should I spray something in that now? Maybe. I'll think about it. Well, could do the battery. See if it'll spin fast enough to push over. Yes. All right, I'll do that. I'm gonna spray some starter in there, try to put this back together and everything, and see if it'll turn over. All right, the wind's kind of bad, so I just popped this hose off the gas line here at the filter, and it came out. So there it goes. That's like highlighter yellow with a tint of like dehydrated brown. You can tell how this is kind of setting down here, that it's got water in it. It smells funky. Unfortunately, I was really hoping this was dry because the tank is dry. Just wanted to see if there was anything holding in it, and sure enough, so that the carb might be gummed up, which I was going to take it apart and clean out anyway, but another thing to add to the list. Oh, this just in. You can't tell if it's, well, yeah, there you go. It's smoking. We have made progress. Gave up. Now, your turn. Uh-huh. Voila. Closer. Finally. Yes. It definitely needed an air box. We've got some buddies here. Let's get a better look. Alright, so, yep, had to chop these off. They, again, now they're gone. Some dirt dauber hung out in here. Bunch of dirt, rats or something got up here and chewed this up, which is super old. But, there's all that. Just probably put the rest of that off. Now we can check it out. Oh, I guess I don't have access to the car. I'll have to get through here, but I just wanted to be able to see this. So, and those were not coming off. Yeah. These things are supposed to hold those in there so that this will just turn and that rod break free. Just was not doing that. Okay, moving on. I also could take this cover off because it's one little screw, that guy, there, because the air box was stuck on. The screw's coming off. This wind is crazy. Maybe this will lift up now. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can. I can't do this one-handed. Oh, maybe. Yeah, all right. Let's be free. How are we looking? Not terrible. We know the spark plug looked okay. That is crusty. I might get the compressor out here and blow this out. I can get a better look at the little starter now. No teeth are missing or anything. Good, good. Yeah. Okay. Alright, I've taken apart this little electrical thing for whatever reason that they cut it or put this on, or maybe this was a different starter. I don't know why this is this way. I'm gonna try to clean it off some and connect it better. I think I'm losing power from this corrosion and it being not better to get to here, because when I start it spins, and then on the compression stroke when it gets like hard it freezes, or the battery's not very powerful, but it still needs to be done anyway. I have another power cable I could run through. That kind of be a job, get through all the harness and stuff, but that can be done. For right now I'm going to clean this up and get it connected better possibly and see what it does. What I have found from the coil here, this is, ready, this one, black one, that one. Oh, so I do believe they're supposed to be connected, and we will not get any spark if it doesn't have a little, I don't know if this is a safety thing or not, but I'm just gonna strip it back, put a little wire nut on it, clean this up, put a wire nut on it. It's acting a little better. I'm pretty sure that battery just doesn't have, it's like almost 5 years old, so problems there. But little things that I can do. I really want to get this to spin enough to sound like it has has a chance. Alright, we're back over here because I'm testing. I just want to triple check. Again, I don't have a way to check the load on the battery, and I've already done this actually. So we're set up directly to the car. We skipped it. I did put this wire nut on this just in case if I do get a good chance. I have already kind of checked it. It turned over well. It was off for this setting, which is wrong because it has to be in this for running, so that this will have power to tell the spark plug to spark and get spark. So we're gonna spray some starter in here, give it a turn. I'm gonna set you over here, and hopefully it'll act right like it did a second ago. Be a big boost and hope for our cause. Oh, come on. What? Alright. Interesting. Why? It's like locking up right there. Alright. There we are. Okay. It's approved. That's what we're going to get gas in. Alright, I'm going to take off these lines and run some gas through it and take out the tank. This is just 2 of those little 3/8. I've got a better filter and a little shutoff valve from the old mower off the LT1000. And we're just going to take that off and put that on here. Because I have it over there, it will make it a little better. I'm going to definitely need to clean out this gas can. Check if the cap from the old one will fit that one. Okay, there's that. Alright, so I've got the gas can off, and I took the end hose off from down here. That's this one here. And I have some more hose line, new. I was thinking about running it on here anyway, I want to check it out, but this end I think had the fuel filter on it, and it's pretty collapsed and clogged up. I can't, like, that's it. Pushing kind of hard, pushing hard. Shouldn't feel like it's going through mud. So yeah, we're just gonna replace all the fuel lines because I have new fuel lines and make it look nice. Spray all that down. Try to take care of this thing. We're gonna use these. Yep. Actually, a bunch of use. Where's all new line? There we go. Works. Holy cow. Let's take this one off to see that. Feels a better place to pull from. Try and get it out. I have to cut this out. Do it that way. We'll do that. Take this clamp too, because I might need it. There. Alright, Alright, this up here's the old lines. Clamps have their clamps on them too. Big hose. I've got more if I need it. We're gonna take this off. Might get a new one, but this one's really not that old. might have jacked it up. See the end of this? Kind of put a twist on it. We'll see how that looks, but oh, I don't know about that. We'll see how much they cost when I get a battery. Kind of helps. Don't scrape plastic particles into it either, though. Yeah, that one looks fine. Yeah. It's not bad at all. It does have a flow direction, so we should put it that way. I'll probably reuse it. It's not that bad. If anything, I maybe heat it up, but we'll do that. Trash, use that. This thing there. So I do need another little slip. We've got plenty here to make that happen. So once I get the gas tank back installed, we'll kind of lay it out and go from there. Yeah, this was kind of too tight anyway, I think. That hard bend on it, but all right. So here's our gas can. Rinsed out, washed off, blown out. I'm going to splash some gas through it, let that evaporate. But there's a little bit of, we can see right there, of just plastic that's kind of, whatever, blocking. I don't know how it happened. Maybe it was there from the factory, but I'm going to get a little skinny screwdriver or something and scrape that out. Again, I'll splash a little bit of gas in there, rinse everything out again, and we'll start putting our fuel lines together. Alright, got that blockage out of the way. I'm going to just hook this up like this here, and we'll start from the gas tank and work our way back when we get over to the mower. Okay, see what that be. There we go. I like that. Screwdriver. Just to kind of. All right, to the mower. Here maybe? Yeah, alright, we'll get closer. Yep, that's gonna be better. Okay. That gets strapped down. This way here. Let's come over here. Somewhere about here for the shut-off thing. These guys. Two. Off on. Two. Oh, that's nice. Here, filter. Go on. Direction flow this way. A little bit there. See if I can grab that. So here. Oh, that's right. Go over this. Kind of on the floor here. Before I hook it up for the carburetor, I want to put some gas in it and see if it'll flow out. Just double check everything. Alright, put some gas in there and we'll see if it cooperates like a little gas tank should. Alright, something. Hey, that's a good sign. Just right on through. Ooh. Well, maybe not with one hand. There. Yeah, okay, it stopped. I'm sure the gas filter had a little bit in there. Turn. Oop. Alright, I think that's working properly too. Okay. Snug it down on that. And we might see if it will fire up actually. Alright, we're back over here, back at the old green LT100. We'll take the gas cap off this one and see if it'll fit the LT2000 that has the busted cap. Boop, boop, boop. I mean, right, it's just a gas cap. Oh, wait. I can't tell if it's actually... Oh, yeah. Sweet. Okay, I loosened up the cap. I don't think, just in case there's some kind of suction vacuum thing going on. We know we had fuel earlier, but it was hanging straight down, and now it's kind of up, but like, this is still below the tank, so the gravity should be pushing it up. I'm not really sure how else I'd have to have it like really tight and come straight down like that. But we've got stuff in the filter, so I'm gonna try it one more time, spray some starter in there again, and we'll hope it could, again, this could all be clogged up and the carburetor could be junk, so we'll see. There, on. Dead. Why? Okay, well, I just loosened this down, I pulled this off, and at first no gas was coming out, and then the gas came shooting out. So maybe this is just very, very clogged and it's not getting through at all. Let's see if it does it again. Oh yeah, now it's really just coming out. Okay, I think the carburetor is just clogged up. We're gonna take it apart anyway. Let's do that. All right, got this thing almost off. Come on. It does smell. It does look a little bit, you know, like it needs to be cleaned in there. I don't know how well you can see that. But get it over to the table. Oh, hold up, wait. Hold. Got it. There we go. Needed some help. All right. Oh yeah, some greenness there. Gasket okay condition. All right, let's get this stuff unhooked and we'll get over to the table. Here we are again. Start taking this bad boy apart. Get all the yeah. Plenty of cleaning. We'll start. Oh man. Oh, yeah. Oh no. Oh boy. Well, off to a lovely start. Alright, I'm going to tap on this with something and do the same with the other side, or I might put some penetrating oil on it, come back to it. I do not want to make this any harder than it has to be. Oh, there's what it looks like now compared to that one. Fun stuff. Alright, soaked it a little bit, tapped on it. I did get the one that I didn't mess up is loose now. We're gonna go back to this guy. Found a broader screwdriver. We're gonna see what will happen here. Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, for now. Need to get this emptied out because if I need to put gas in there, you can get on those bolts. Oh. Maybe right there, got a little wedge point. Oh, sure enough. Dun, 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 crack the egg open. Oh, one of those. Kind of losing our gasket there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now see how that bowl looks. Yeah, look at the end of that one. Funky, could be culprit. Amongst other things, you know, it's all nasty. Yeah, both of these little screens that have something to do with the section. This thing comes out. So cartridge. Let's cut my fingers off a little better. Come here. Okay, so let's look at the bowl first. So there's gas in there. Can't really say if it's new or, I mean, it's pretty yellow, so I think it's bad stuff. And then all that grit definitely could be clogging up some of our jets. Over here. And then this little backfire solenoid. Yeah, I didn't think so. Not moving. We'll take that guy out. Clean it up, scrub this thing out. And then here's our float and everything. Main jet, that looks pretty nasty. That kind of that brown, that grit, all up in there. Does this have a crack in it? No, that all looks okay. I'll get the little air compressor and we'll check and make sure that that needle is doing its job and closing that off whenever we get enough gas and stuff. So, all right, we'll start breaking this thing down. I gotta leave anyway in a little bit, and I will come back with the battery after some Bible study, and we'll put it all back together. Alrighty, let's get started. Clean this up. I'm gonna work with the bowl first. We'll kind of go down the line, I guess, with those there. This is a 1/2 inch. We'll take out the little backfire solenoid, spray some carb cleaner in there and everything, try to get this out. Make sure it's mobile. Wait, this way. Nope, let me think. Yeah, okay. What am I just having on here? This one. Oh. And we'll come back to that later. Oh, my right out. Oh, it's just those cleaner. Oh, caught whatever just came out the bottom of that. Okay, well that looks not terrible. Not terrible. This is still sitting in there. This thing isn't broken. That all seems fine. Yeah, it's okay. This part here, we'll try to leave that there, spray all this stuff. We'll get the air to it when we're done and blow all this off. Not right now. Try to watch it, not get anything in here. Really, just this thing looks bad. And again, then we'll get the little needles and run through all this other stuff. Spraying some of these little spots. But it doesn't look actually that terrible. Let's see if I get it. Right here. The tube. Just straight. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's through. There so. So it could be any little spots here. I'll spray out. If that in right there, get nice clean out. From there. Take a look at it. That's a bit. Get it. Okay now. I guess it's like. That's all you. And then you have time to clean all the tools. Right down there. So, just grab them, make it in the needles just sec. Just wasn't have any in your portfolio. Let's get this. Yeah, it's not towel in there. That's the only one right now. Let's put it in there and see if it's a little bit here. No? It's pretty good. Nothing else seems to be pretty funky. We'll go back to the bowl and the backfire solenoid. Or no, we're gonna put some air through this too. So let me do that before I forget. All right, this will be loud for just a second. Kind of put this in here, get some compressed air, and you kind of feel and make sure that all the cavities and stuff are kind of blowing out where they're supposed to be, and nothing is still, you know, jammed up or got any funky stuff in there. Okay, I'll put it all together, then I'll blow it all off. Now then, let's fight with this thing again. Open this. That thing is stuck. Alright, I'm just going to fight with this thing and then we'll come back when I get it off. Alright, so I have got it loose. I didn't get this off, so I just kind of focused on this. And got it loose, and there's definitely some crud coming out from in there. So if we clean this out good enough, and it seems like it's going to wiggle around, so still function. I put this thing in some vice grips and a clamp, and it's causing more problems. So if it'll work this way, then it'll work this way. It doesn't need to come off. And we'll pull it back up. I'm just going to work that back and forth. Let that carb cleaner do its job. There we go. Without messing this thing up too much. Yeah, oh yeah, it's like pumping out. See that? Funky. Yeah. Well, we're talking. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sweet. Now it's coming up by itself, too. Awesome. You want to do that one more time? That's a good sign. Yep, I'm just going to work with that a little bit more, and we'll start putting it all back together. Okay, we'll burn in daylight, and I'm excited to get this back together. Got a new battery for it. We'll see if this LT2000 will do the job and rock and roll. So now it's remembering how to get everything back together. Yeah, all right, cleaner and better. Let's get this all hooked back up and a little more gas and see what happens. New battery here, 350 cold cranking amps, taking out the old one, and then we're just gonna see if it'll start. So it's got gas from the carburetor, or carburetor cleaned out. It's 350 cc as well. It's also 5 years old. Oop, oop. Now then. I don't want to spray in the starter if I don't have to. That way. Best contact, I can do like this. I got another washer actually. But we'll see what happens as the sun goes down. Yeah. Wheels already on. Park and brake might need to be on. Let's take a run. First press brake. Run. It's gonna run that way. Let's see, what does it do? I should put some gas in it first. Oh, why'd you die? Why? That's with a fresh battery too. What are you doing, man? I'm gonna have to look up why it's doing that. Try. I had the choke fully closed. We'll do it for fun. Can't go anywhere. Tires are flat, but can't do that. Still. Why? I don't like that. It's not getting gas. But it's got gas. Carburetor's been cleaned out. I see plenty of gas in here. So why? Let's see. So I gave it one more go after that, of course, and kept just like shooting starter to it. And it kind of worked itself out and it was running, but it was surging back and forth. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get it going again. And we're gonna adjust the here, I'll try that. See. bent you down some. Oh, the spindle is spinning. All right. Well, I added a little bit of oil. We'll triple check oil. I have new tires. They only got like 2 hours on them before our old one died. With those on here, I've already checked they're the right size. And we'll look into the surging thing. It might be something with this fuel filter having that pinch in it. It's just not getting enough gas. We'll see about that. All right, dude, awesome. Came out here this morning to check it out. Noticed we were out of gas. Still had a little bit in the filter, so I put some more gas in it. And something, oh, you can't see this sunlight. There we go. This is the crankcase vent. It's just leaking gas. I noticed it looked kind of wet. So this is where all my gas went. And this was going to be a main thing I was going to look at today because it's so cracked at the end. So it makes you wonder too about this carburetor, I guess, filling up with gas and not stopping and filling this up or something. So we're gonna check, because it should not be leaking that bad. Well, bad news. From playing around with this and pushing it around, which I did have it right the right way, not where it's fitting there, but through the middle, like I thought. We have jacked up this little gasket, and that is an important one because that is the main inlet for the gas. And now, if I didn't have a flooding problem before like I did, I definitely am probably going to have it now. So I believe, again, the LT1000 may come in clutch, and I have this same carburetor over there. I don't think this one is that. This one's a little bigger, but I'm gonna try the other one first. Or since this is here, I'll take it apart and look at it. But I might have another O-ring for this, and we'll just all new O-ring it, because I think that is the culprit, just O-rings, carburetor stuff. Alrighty, here is the carburetor off the LT1000. I'm gonna take it apart, and hopefully this gasket is the same as this one. We can replace this O-ring if it's in better shape, which I think it is. We'll see. Yay! Oh yeah, promising. Hehe. That is the gasket I want. How clean that guy is. Sweet. Parts, baby. Extra, just in case. Over there. You stay. And there's that O-ring. Fantabulous. I want to make sure my hands are kind of clean. Let me rub it on my pants. There we go. Got a little pick here. Just gonna compare them. Let's see. Oh, I guess I'm looking at it upside down. Yes. Let's do it like this. There we go. So, I think this bigger gasket looks better than this bigger one, but this O-ring is better than that O-ring. Oh, yeah. Very soft. You got some red in there from it, so it doesn't fall down. Fall down in there. Get that out. We'll spray it in the spray. Oh, yeah, sorry. Right, so you need to do something else. Try not to. Sitting down here. Whatever experience. So I don't need to choose something. Trying to do yourself whole. So, an idea. Choose a combination. Let's spray that out. Yep. So, got on. That's true. It's not that. Still need though. See it. Yeah. I'm gonna work on this and then we'll get it back in there. Here are the two floats. This is from the older one, the L2000 or L1000. Sorry, 1000, the one that's broken. Focus. And this is the 2000. So look at this one. It bounces back up. We got this one from the 2000. So I'm gonna take the check out the needle in this one. So I think it's metal and not plastic, and if it'll fit in here, we're gonna go with that. All right, so actually, I'm just using the whole float from the LT1000. Everything about it was better, and I kind of lined everything up and matched it, and it is the same float, which I would assume, but you know they could have very small differences. This one's just way better. The O-ring, so we've got the LT1000 flow to the car, but the same carb and everything. Oh, go back in there. And also the jet, that's what the main thing was. Make sure that's kind of seated in there. The jet that we've been fighting with actually has a O-ring on it compared to the one that came out of the 2000. And yeah, the idea of a O-ring on there. This one's still not fantastic, but it's more. So that's promising. We're gonna line all this stuff up. Seals well. That's the main deal. Then with this guy back on there. These do look like difference as far as the solenoid here. This one's bigger. For whatever, you know, this plug is going to be a little different. That square end. So LT1000. Here's the 2000. Little difference, but comparably, I mean, it's one of those things they would probably both work. It's just this has to line up. So before I do that, I think I'm going to I put a little sandpaper on into this to just clean it up nicer, have a better fit. I'm going to clean this up too, and then I'll cinch it back together and we'll take it back out there. Carb is redone, put on, everything's hooked up. Gas line's on and open, gas is flowing. Got the little plastic piece off the idle screw, kind of did the standard close it shut, one whole turn and like a half. We'll see if this doesn't lock up or anything. I'm trying to use starter fluid first. That would be nice. Park, set, Doesn't have any gas in the bowl, it might take a little bit. Why are you the way you are? And it's locked up. I might be taking the starter off the 1000 also. Nothing. Well, I just took our little wire nut off and was checking everything. This was pretty warm. It's still pretty hot. Yeah, it makes sense. This is a problem. It was already on its last leg, and again, I don't know why. I might could trim it and do a better kind of splice job. I think I might have a power cable that I could run. It's just fighting with the wiring harness, but I know like eventually that's what should be done, so that's probably going to be what we're going to do. All right, and the hits keep coming. I was just going to see if I could tighten this up any, because it could be causing it to bind up, and more contact is the better ground for it. So I was just, I don't know if we're going to be able to see this here. Anyway, this one over here is super loose. You can't see it down in there. But that one, just turning. So I think I'm still going to take these off, check it out, clean it off, and see how the ground is. But it was loose. So another one of just the little things that kind of add up. All right, starter off. I mean, okay contact. I don't like that has funk and oil coming out of it. We're not going to worry about that, but we'll kind of scrape this off and a little sandpaper and same thing with the back side of this. Scrape it off, clean it just a little better. Same thing with this. Take this connection off. Go ahead and see what the heck's going on with this. Better wire nut or something. And then just kind of focus on electrical stuff, I guess. All right, well, it's getting worse. So see all this in my hand? These little shavings. Apparently I was not the first person to think, hey, we should tighten this up better. So I started kind of wiping it up and picking at it, and it's been stripped out. So someone was like, we need to cinch this down so it gets better contact, just like as I'm thinking. And they've already done that before and overdid it, and it's like, this is just a hole. So I don't have a tap. I'm kind of worried to do that. We'll find a way, but that sucks. The design, here's what's behind that white tape. Not terrible. At least there's enough wire there. They've kind of cleaned it-ish and twisted it enough and everything. So I'm just going to try to find some wire nuts and put that on there instead of white electric tape, if it was electric tape. And just help and maybe do something about this little cut down here. So here's what we're doing. I do have some shrink that I forgot I had. So there was that little cut up here, put a piece up here, took out that part of the tape there, cleaned it off, clipped it, and we've got this piece on here. We're gonna do the same thing to this one, and then also where this wire nut is, well, we're gonna do that too. Shrink there, and then don't forget another one down here. Clean that off, clip it, and everything there. I don't at the moment have a full power cord that is long enough to run through the whole body, so I think we're gonna do, this is what I have here, and I think the one on the LT 1000 is just as long, so too short, because this one has the if it'll reach the solenoid that's in the back by the battery and then to there, we'll double check, but I might just take off a long enough piece to swap that out with, so then I have more room to play and actually have like a better connection, because this is like barely reaching. I don't want to do that, kind of have the same problem, but it would be better. We'll see. All right, we're back, and we have made, there's that wire nut was gone, so 1, bottom of this one 2, this one 2 had one, 3, 4, 5, and that nick 6 little patches over here. I don't think there's any on this side by the thing. It's just unplugged right now. Okay, and again, this is the big issue. All right, so the problem is that the starter is loose again, so that bolt over there is just not gonna hold on to it. I'll have to think of something to fill that in with. I might can tighten it down, and then try to start it again to just run it, because you know you only need it to start it, but that's just a pain. We're gonna drive this thing, we're gonna cut some grass, dang it. Okay, so here's my solution now. This one, since it is so just tore out, making this flop and it won't catch, and it's binding this up and just causing all kind of terrible noises. Here is the best looking one off the, again, donor mower, LT1000 green when they gave it up. I'm gonna put this one in there with, you guessed it, Teflon tape for plumbing, and hope for the best again. I'm gonna coat this thing down, wind it in there, and we're gonna try again. I want to mow something today. All right, here goes nothing. Holding back to the LT1000. Here's the state we're in. Got these holes cleaned out. Also, look at this lovely crack. That's like, goes even further back. That whole piece and corners could very well break off, and I'm sure it's from the whole starter jerking and twisting into that side over there. I wish I had some JB Weld or something. Maybe later I can. But right now, the mission is we're going to retap that hole to this, because this is the tab that I have, and the next size up from whatever, just by kind of seeing if it'll fill. I'll put a little bit of Molly in there for some lubricant, but I want to see if I have a bolt that will match this, whatever, you know, this 1.25. I'm gonna get a pair of calipers, I think, and just kind of grab it and get a kind of a tighter guess and look for a bolt. It can't be too long. We can always use the washer, but again, it can't be too long, because then it will be hitting the starter teeth. That's what we're doing. All right, so I've never tapped anything before. Just kind of going for it. This is that size. It's slightly up. The little bit of threads, you know, the grooves that are left in there, I think, helping it to stay straight. That's what I'm really trying to focus on. I couldn't really find a bolt to fit this, but I don't want to take any more material off than I have to, because again, we're getting really close to the edge of this thing, and I don't want it to start splitting like that. That might have been what happened to this one before, but they look like these same bolts. Whatever. This is the state of where we are. All right, I had to take the dipstick off, which is bad because it opened it up to this, but I was really careful. Watch, make sure I didn't get a bunch of this metal material in there. But so I can get you closer. Anyway, something happened. Looks a lot cleaner. It's better. Let's take my blower here and get that out there. Close your eyes or have safety glasses on when you do that, or look away, just letting you know. And I'll check how all that looks and see if I can go any deeper or more, and then we'll be back on the hunt for a bolt, or I might have to go buy one. All right, I just pulled this bolt. This is the ground bolt from the negative cable from, again, the best donor mower in the world. I don't know, I guess I got that tapered in, but let's take a look. Let me reset my thing here. Zero it out. Okay. If I can do this one-handed, we'll see. Probably not. Wait, come here. You can do it. Well, dang it. It's too small. Can't really see it. I needed, what, 10.21 or something. This is like 9 point something. Alright, here's a new plan. We're going to take this back off. I want to use this bolt. And it does work with a different size. So just the next size up from what I tapped this to, that bolt works with. So we're going to get some lubricant in there, tap it a little bit bigger. We should be good. That's the plan. Hopefully we won't just crack and destroy this thing, because it is like, it's a touchy thing. All right, I've got the starter back here at the little bench. This hole we're going to try to get a little bigger, ream out some. This is that bolt I want to use. I don't have a drill bit. I have a drill bit that's that size, but not one bigger. So I've got this round file, and I'm gonna kind of work out that and see if I can't get just enough. Put that in there, still tight. Then we'll install it. All right, our starter is mounted back. I've got the power on here real nice and snug. That actually felt really good, and I was able to cinch that down This one still felt pretty good, had enough meat left in there. That's really solid now. I am worried about these teeth. You can see, there we go, like this bottom one, a lot of this top is like shredded. So I'm worried there may not be much meat on these left and before they snap and break. I don't have another one laying around, so that would suck. But maybe about to try.